Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's a little gloomy out the door. Looking at the shoals, it's been a little gray. It's not the prettiest Tuesday, but it is a Tuesday nonetheless. Temperature's a little comfortable outside, even though it is raining. We are starting to see humidity come back into the forecast too. So it's making things a little on the sticky side, but not too bad. Not too, I would say, hot and stuffy feeling. So that's nice. We're keeping it in those mid 70s for a lot of us. For the day, we can take a look at radar right now. And what we're seeing is that some of these showers that we experienced earlier this morning finally made their way on east, but we'll continue to see some on and off showers, heavier chances for showers to come toward the afternoon hours. So I'll walk you through that in just a second. But our timeline so far, we're expecting to see that pick up again around the 11 o'clock hour, getting back up to that 50% chance. And you can kind of see the stair step that's happening here. We go from 40 to 50 and 40 and then 60. So rain chances will be kind of on and off throughout the day. We'll get it to slack up every now and again, and then it'll come back a little stronger. Now this afternoon, with some of that heating that we typically get by that point, like 3 o'clock says 60%, we're expecting to see some possible lightning at that point, heavier downpours. So keep that in mind. That'll be about the 3 o'clock hour. I know some schools are out for fall break, but not all schools are. So a couple of folks may still have their students out and about dealing with that as they go to and from school for the day or come home from school. All that to be said, though, we're going to see those rain chances kind of pick up in the afternoon. But as we get closer to sunset, around sunset's just before 6:30 now, so I think it was 6:24 last I checked. So yeah, we'll start to see those rain chances die down just a tad by the time we get to our sunset for the evening. So rest of your afternoon, though, temperature wise, will hang in those upper 70s. Little comfy to note, but I mean, we still have that rain out the door, so you might want to keep those umbrellas on standby. Like I mentioned, the rain chances will not completely go away. We'll have some dry hours every now and again for a couple areas, but in and around the valley, a lot of folks will still see a passing shower or two, even when it's at its lightest. So looking at the breeze points, though, we're going to continue to see some good deal of breeze picking up. So it's going to be a little bit of a nuisance. Thankfully, it's on the lower end, so we're not getting that that sweeping rain, you know, that kind of like just as the wind blows, it carries it across. Yeah, that's not my favorite. That's like my least favorite combination of wind and rain. And then it blows your umbrella back, and it's all sorts of inconvenience. Anyway, we're continuing to see those rain chances, like I mentioned, throughout most of our afternoon into our evening, not really slacking up until we get to sunset because we lose that daytime heating. But here it goes hour by hour. Cloud cover is going to hang around for most of the day. It's going to be nice, gray, and, well, gray for most of the day. So we do have a decent breeze that will gust to about 14 miles per hour. We could see beyond that, I think, at some point. Around 1 and 2 o'clock is when we start to see 15, just beyond that as well. But you'll see here that rain chances will stick around, even though, like I mentioned, there will be opportunities for those rain chances to slacken up, but we'll still have rain around. So we'll continue to see heavy showers into the 2 and 3 o'clock hours. And then we'll also have a shower ahead of the cold front that's kind of moving in. And that'll kind of push our temperatures back into some lower end 70s by this week. Could see some upper 40s for lows by the end of the work week. So keep that in mind. This is around 7:30 tonight. You'll notice that we only have like one cluster of showers by that point. The breeze is calm. Most of us in those low end 70s. So we'll just go through an afternoon of on and off periods of showers, and that'll be the last bit of rain for the week. We're expecting to see some possible sprinkles into Wednesday, but even that's a bit kind of touch and go forecast wise. So looking ahead to Wednesday, though, this is around 2:30 tomorrow morning. We'll continue to see opportunities for cloud cover the rest of the week, but you'll notice little sprinkled in showers every now and again for your Wednesday morning. So not too many of us will see those shower opportunities. But like I mentioned, wind gusts will be quite decent for the next couple of days. Around 2 p.m. today, we'll get closer to that 10 miles per hour. And you saw on our hour by hour a moment ago, we could get a gust up to about 14, 15 in the 3 and 4 o'clock hours. So we'll keep a decent breeze around for the next couple of days to come. Now, looking ahead a little bit, Brad went ahead and put this all together. Past 7 years of our big cold fronts, we've had a couple here. And we like to call those just cooler air mass or a cool front. Not exactly a cold front, because all it does is really shift our temperatures a little lower, but not creating actual cold, if that makes sense. So like when we would have them in the summer, it would cool us from 96 degrees to about 89. So that's not really all that major of a cold front, because you're still dealing with high heat. But the biggest deal here is the fact that our highs start to dip into some upper 60s. And you can see, I think that's 2020. Our low was like 39. So we're usually hitting that point around the 16th for the most part. It looks like the 16th is the outlier here. That seems to be like more often than not. So we're kind of hoping that it'll be a little cool, mild and temperate for the Liz Hurley run on the 18th that I hope you signed up for, because the clock is ticking. Keep signing up for that. I'll be there. Anywho, besides that point though, we are hoping to see that major cold front coming in, because we do have one that's moving in this evening into your Wednesday, but it's not gonna push us back into some of these 60s like we're seeing here. It's really just gonna push us back to kind of honestly like 2022. It's pushing us back into those low end 70s. So we're gonna see, this might be the big one, but even still, we want to see if we could push into those 60s a little sooner rather than later, so we can get into some real fall weather. It'll feel like fall by the back half of this week though, with that cold front coming through regardless. So that's just some interesting weather nerd stuff for you to look at. Here's a look at the tropics. We do have something kind of forming closer to Mexico. If you look there in the yellow, so far not much of a threat on the states end of the Gulf, but we'll see how that kind of affects the Gulf as a whole. Looks like it's only a 10% chance of developing. I think it's actually 20. Oh, 10. There we go. 10%. Maybe if I click the button, we'll find out. 90% for this other tropical wave that we've been kind of watching for the past couple of days. Now, as you will look at that and notice, it's kind of shrunk. The blob, as we call it, has shrunk a good deal. So maybe it's trying to, we're getting a little bit of a more concise forecast with that, but keep in mind, next name is Jerry and Karen. So those are typically the ones that can be, by the time we get to this point in the year, those are typically the ones that are like a little stronger. But so far, not expecting it to develop on our coast or create an issue for our coast until well into, I would say by the end of this week, this could possibly form, because it does have a 90% chance of the next 7 days and the next 2 days. So I would say by Thursday, Friday, we could have Jerry here. So it's just some tropical tidbits for you. That's actually a website, Tropical Tidbits. Anyway, that's a website with all of the forecast and a lot of the models that we look at. It's one of those easy access websites for us meteorologists. But let's look at our 10-day forecast here at home. Rain chances continual for the next Okie dokie, we're back. I think my mic went out. How much of that did you guys miss? Because I feel like I saw it go out just before I wrapped up about the tropics, but that's okay. We'll just clip the second one here. That's cool. Alrighty, so back to your 10-day. Expectations with the 10-day, though, we're looking at an opportunity for those rain chances to die off a little bit as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. Could expect to see a sprinkle passing into Wednesday morning. So Thursday looks like it may be a drier condition, but our forecast models are still kind of holding out for some passing showers in between each morning for Wednesday and Thursday. But a lot of the other long-term models aren't holding out the same, so we're looking for some consistency on that in the next couple of hours. We'll see how everything kind of shapes out from tonight's storms. Looking ahead, though, temperature-wise, it's gonna be nice and comfortable. Once we get to Thursday and Friday, that's when we start to get into those mid-70s. It does warm back up by the weekend, but those lows will stay in the low-end 50s by the end of this week. So keep that in mind as you make your plans. I know a lot of folks have some things going on early Saturday morning and even Sunday. If you're heading out for church, brunch, everything in between, it's going to be a cooler start to your weekend mornings at about 51 for both of those days. That's kind of crazy, but we are in that time of year. So looking ahead to Monday into the following week, we'll get back into those mid-80s. So not quite the cool down we were expecting with this cold front, but like I mentioned, we usually don't see those cold fronts moving through in such a major change to our forecast until mid-October. So we're about a week out. So we'll see how that kind of shapes out after next week, if we still have that opportunity for a little bit of those chances to cool off a teeny bit. We'll see how that goes. But make sure you tune in today on TVL. I'll be there going back through your forecast then, even in the noon show. And of course, tonight at 4, 5, 6, and 10. And I will see you guys back Friday at 10:30. Do this all over again, another weather extra. So I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday and drive safely on the roads. Slick pavement out there. And my car, even this morning, I was like, it's a little slick for me. So make sure you're being careful and mindful while you're driving. So have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. I'll see you Friday.